Got it. It's mute. Okay, 6 o'clock, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for the Monday, September 20th City Council meeting in Credit River. To start, I will take, does anybody want to amend the agenda tonight?
Nope.
Nope. Then I would take a motion to approve.
I will make that motion, Mr.
Thank
Mayor.
you, Al. I'll second it. Thank you, Leroy. A motion and a second to approve the agenda as written. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Consent agenda. Those items on the council agenda which are considered routine, non-controversial are included as part of the consent agenda. Unless a council member specifically requests that an item on the consent agenda be removed and considered separately, items on the consent agenda are considered under one motion, a second, and a vote. Any item removed from the consent agenda shall be placed at the end of general business. Tonight on the consent agenda, we have the August 16th, 2021 City Council and Planning Commission meeting minutes. We have an ordinance 2021-05 amending the subdivision regulations related to signatures on final plats and city status. Ordinance 2021-06 amending the zoning ordinance related to the Board of Adjustments. Is there anything on the consent agenda that somebody'd like to pull and discuss separately?
No.
All right, then I would take a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, Leroy. A motion and a second by Al to approve the consent agenda as written. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Open forum. The public forum is intended to afford the public an opportunity to address concerns to the council. The public forum will be no longer than 30 minutes in length, and each presenter will have no more than 5 minutes to speak. Topics of discussion are restricted to local governmental topics rather than private or political agendas. The council may discuss but will not take formal action on the public forum presentations. Would anybody like to speak for open forum tonight?
I don't.
I don't want
No,
to.
I know, but you guys thought open forum was going to be full of people talking.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
See, then they reverse psychology.
All right, and we will close open forum. No public hearings tonight. We'll move on to general business. General business number 1, ordinance prohibiting hunting on Credit River owned public property. Ordinance, proposed ordinance will be 2021-07. Any thoughts or discussion on that?
I've had some comments from residents, and as long as it just pertains to public property, not private,
Right.
I think we're
So
fine.
it's, and specifically, we rewrote the language in the ordinance. It's actually specific to Credit River
Right.
owned property.
Right.
So just to be, so everybody's clear, because there was some confusion on that is the 4 neighborhood parks,
Mhm.
the city hall property, and about 20 acres of inaccessible
Yeah.
land.
Yeah,
Is all that
it's, and that's what I
The
responded with.
purpose of it is, liability issues so that we're not liable for anything that happens.
Yeah,
during
we're not
this.
banning hunting. We're not, it's just, yeah, Credit
So it
River
still
public land.
allows the special hunts to happen in the 3 rivers
Right.
parks, allows people to hunt on private property.
Yep.
Are we talking along Credit River too on each
Yeah,
side?
sorry, sir, if we're gonna do speak, we do ask you to come up to the podium and sign in and state your name and that, and we will take your comment here.
Want me to wait?
No, I will take your comment here, but do please click that square button down there, hold it down. There you go, you're good, and then state your name and address, please.
Randy Swanson, 8530 Valley View Court.
Mhm.
I'm just curious if we're also talking about the city-owned land that's on either side of the creek.
Yes.
My property backs up. There's been a little bit of a dispute with the neighbors of hunters that don't live there, wanting to hunt on the land.
Mhm.
But those same people are upset that the people that live there are using that property to ride their bicycles around and that kind of thing. So I'm wondering, is that kind of part of the discussion?
That is part of the discussion, yes,
Okay,
it is.
great. Thank you.
Yeah, that is city-owned land back there. That's about the 20 acres that are not in one of the neighborhood
Mhm.
parks. Yes.
So I guess I'm not sure which way you're leaning. You're gonna keep it that it's, people can hunt on it, or?
No, if we pass the ordinance, it would not be allowed to hunt there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And there are other strips in the township.
City.
Well, I'm sorry. I will quarter.
That's where it's at.
In the city that are in different areas. So it's not just that area. There are other
Little small pieces, but
Valley Oaks and a few other places.
very little, it really.
It's a very small part of
very
the
small pieces
city.
of land.
Yeah,
Yep.
And yeah, from a liability standpoint, it makes sense
Mhm.
to take that
Agreed.
liability out of our hands. So if you guys are comfortable with that, I want to go ahead with it.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance, the ordinance prohibiting
21-07.
21-07.
Okay,
I'll second it.
second. Motion by Al, second by Leroy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Next up, 2022 preliminary levy resolution. Dominique.
Sure. So the discussion is preliminary levy adoption. So we've gone through, I've included an outline of the 2022 budget process. We started in July. And we outlined the changes from township to city. We worked through July and August. We set some dates, July 6th. August 30, we had a workshop and then follow-up discussion on MSA funds at the September 8 meeting to understand road capital sources. And then today we are, the action need is to adopt the proposed levy for submission, and this
And work last night.
That's what we should be here.
Sure, thanks, Chris. So the proposed levy for 2022 would be $1,880,000. And the proposed budget by fund is $3,475,684. And then Exhibit A includes just what that looks like for tax rate percent. So it's less than a 1% increase. So we're going from 15.039 to 15.699. Is there anything the board would want to counsel? Oh,
Look at that,
swear
we got
jar.
50 cents.
Counsel. 50 cents tonight.
Another-
Any questions from the council?
So again, remember from our workshop, we went through all the details of the
Mhm.
expected funds and expenses, and you know, all that rolled back up into $1,880,000.
And then I guess the only thing I would call out is year over year on the levy, the fire piece went up by 71,000. That's kind of something we don't have control over. And then on the debt levy portion, we had an anomaly last year where we had prior years, the cash they had paid early. So this year we have our newest GO bond on there. So that's increase of 88. So 88,000, which we can't control that piece of it.
Right.
Since we are on the cycle of every 3 years and we can't control when people pay it.
Yep.
So if they pay it ahead.
Okay. So tonight, we'd be looking for a resolution to set our preliminary levy. And again, reminding different from past years where we would come in September and pass that. We set our max right now, and we have until the end of December to modify that if we find details that would justify that. So. Good question. That or she got mad about something.
Or is Karen or Carol screening the people?
She might be.
Well, she let Commissioner Wolf.
Yeah.
All right, so With that, if you guys have any other further questions regarding that preliminary levy, if you're comfortable with that, as you know, what we previously went over, I would take a motion to approve resolution 2021-39, setting the preliminary 2022 preliminary levy at $1,880,000.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Leroy.
I'll second.
Right now, thank you, appreciate that. So motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right. Next up, fund balance policy refresher.
A refresher. So I included something that was a fund balance policy that was put into effect in December 5th, 2011. And this came up in our summer meeting with the auditors. So the auditors wanted me just to bring this forward. I don't know if you recall in the management presentation from the auditors, they talked about 50% balance. But actually for the general fund, this fund balance policy overruled that. So it actually is a range of 33 to 66%. Rather than the 50%. So it's just more of an aha. This is what the auditors had us put into place in 2011. So.
Okay.
So it's
So
just
nothing.
no action. It's just, I think all of us kind of have the historical,
Yeah.
it's 50% and it isn't.
Right.
So it's just kind of, okay, we need to, you know, if we want to change it back, but this was the auditor recommendation. And they thought it was important that we just kind of set the,
Yep.
and they realized they had made a mistake in that management.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. All right. Can or will be done in,
Okay, yeah.
a short time. She didn't know how big the tree is. Yeah.
Another one down.
Yeah, 167th Street, just fell.
Oh, we had some pump set up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Eller's investment policy guidance update and ARP update.
So the document is basically a follow-up with the meeting on Ehlers, let me pronounce it correctly. So I included the excerpt from the minutes, but in April, we had talked about better investment for the cash on hand. So one of the things that occurred is the 2012 bond was paid off ahead of time, which afforded us some savings. Also, I wanted to update the council on my meeting with Ryan Miles from Ehlers. Their goal is to work with the finance staff to come up with investment options and an investment a policy to possibly earn more than the current bank interest rate of 0.02%, which is very low. So their goal would be to also factor in long-range capital plans. So I think the timing of it is good as we're working through our long-range plans and help build cash forecasting models. And that's something the board has asked for. Council, 75 cents. The other thing in the conversation is that Ehlers has expertise regarding ARP funds and can advise and provide recommendations as to the best use of those funds. Just to remind the council, we did get $297,000 for ARP funds, and we should get that again next summer because it comes into pieces. Note that any costs for ARP recommendations can and would be paid out of the ARP funds. So the requested action for the council is to make a motion to have the mayor sign the agreement from Mellors. It should be here shortly so that the data analysis can begin. And then Ellers would present analysis findings and recommendations at a council meeting or a workshop for discussion.
Okay. So with that, as you hear the treasurer is recommending, agreeing to the agreement with Ellers to continue on the investment policy recommendations. If you guys are
And
okay
Mayor,
with
I'll make that, I'll make the motion that we continue with Ellers to investigate the investment
that. All right, thank you, Al.
program.
Thank you, Leroy.
And Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Bob.
could I just suggest that you make that contingent on attorney review, just in case there's any questions once you, because my understanding from Dominique, what I heard is that you don't actually have the document that they're asking, you're approving tonight. So if there's any questions about that and something you're not sure about, then you can consult with me and it's not considered approved.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just talking.
Yep. Contingent on attorney review. As always, all right. The motion is second to continue the work with Ellers on the agreement to continue the relationship and contingent on attorney review. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Anything else on that one, Dominique?
No.
Are you good? All right. Council member and liaison updates. Anybody have anything?
Nope.
So we're out Friday morning at 5:30, chopping up trees, get neighborhoods opened up.
Yeah, that was, I know the tornado that's confirmed in Savage and Apple Valley and Burnsville. I bet you if they would have come down to Urbandale Boulevard, probably would have confirmed one down that way too, because that was a mess down there.
Yeah.
I know. I drove through there late in the afternoon.
Me and my neighbors, first time, they described the freight train. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have another tree down, we just got word of that from tonight's wind,
Yeah.
so we'll go take care of that after the meeting.
I don't want to go back to old business. It's my tardiness. I must apologize for it because I was at a fundraiser for human trafficking.
Yes.
For the ordinance on the public property, the only question I had is no problems with that. But, we have more than just hunting. We have people making mountain bike courses and things like that. And I think just as a question for all of us as city council members is, I think we singled out hunting and that we may have more public property in the future in Credit River. And that maybe thinking the ordinance is not specific to just that, but that how would we word it with Bob to say that you can't use it for your own private recreational use without the permission of the city? I think that was the only thing I thought about when we were looking at the hunting. I know we're addressing a specific issue that probably has been safety, but just as, I apologize, Mr. Mayor, for my tardiness, but just a comment that I wanted to bring on that.
Andrew, I don't disagree with you. I think that the hunting was more of a liability issue that involved like the parks and
Yeah, the
this property
safety,
and all that.
definitely, yeah.
So I think that's a separate issue from what you're talking about. We can further look into if there's other things that we need to talk about.
Yeah, I just
Regarding
extended
some of
is if someone built a mountain bike course out there and then
Because we
started
certainly
having
have-
mountain bike races out there with friends and then
Oh.
there was a crash, I
Right.
mean, would the liability be in a similar area? Yeah.
And we have some of that already in a different park as well. Okay. A different piece of land that's owned, and there's been probably for 50 years, some trails going through some woods that were just kind of trampled down by people over the time, right? So,
And we-
no, I don't disagree with you at all, Andrew. I think very valid comment.
Okay, thank
And
you.
one thing, we did spend money on that park to have it surveyed, so we knew exactly
Where?
where the boundaries were for the folks' houses. To survey all these little bits and
Plots.
pieces that are
All
out
over.
in that area and all over, we'd be talking $10,000.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
but still,
Yeah.
we'll have to keep an eye on it. and,
Yeah, because,
think through that.
we singled out the issue that's there. And the other question I had is I looked at the papers,
we may be in a future where we need to look at the ordinance again as cities like Burnsville that have big city parks actually need to have city permissed
Right.
hunting or management
Yeah,
with
kind of like
DNR.
Fruit River
Yeah,
says,
yeah, with DNR
allowing a
guidance
special hunt here
yeah,
and there.
to allow for that. So
Mhm.
that was my only comments on
Perfect.
that, and I do
Okay.
apologize again on the late.
No, you're good. We survived. We got through it.
Anyway, we cut up some trees. We
Yeah.
definitely cut up some trees. Push it
Right.
along.
The only other thing, just want to mention, on Saturday morning, Leroy and I met with a young Boy Scout who's trying to go get his Eagle Scout. He's interested in doing a project in Credit River, talking about like a time capsule project, since this is like the first year becoming a city. So he's going to come to us at a later date and do a presentation. So if there's any kinds of things you think about that might be interested to go in that, keep that in mind. too as
We've done
well.
a
So,
number of projects like that with the scouts, and I think it's a great,
Yeah. I
Be
think
great
you kinda
involvement.
need-
He
it-
he is from the township.
Yeah.
He's in- or
City.
city.
Yeah.
Quarter.
That's cool, and that might be worth email to our listserv too,
Mhm.
to get involved, some of the people who probably have a long history here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's gonna approach some of the few businesses that we have, looking for some sponsorship to put this together with a nice marker as he's all kind of have, and so. Yeah, actually, really good detailed plans, kind of,
Mhm.
forward, so, yeah, so it'd be kind of neat.
Something that'll happen in the spring,
Mhm.
once he gets all the stuff worked out.
Yeah. So, other than that,
One other thing, I put up 35-mile-an-hour speed limit signs on Frontier Avenue, it goes in the crescent curve. Lumber trucks, cement trucks are speeding through the neighborhood, so.
yeah,
Speed limit signs are up now. They can write tickets.
perfect. All right, if you guys don't have anything else, then we will move on to pay some bills tonight. So tonight.
Mr. Mayor, anything else?
What's that, Bob?
Anything else for me?
No, you're good. You can,
Thank you.
you're rounded down, right? I mean, it's only, you only been here.
I'm sorry?
You're rounding down, right? Not up, not to the nearest hour. You're only here for 22 minutes, so.
Okay.
Have a good night, Bob.
Geez, Bob, this would almost be a freebie, isn't it?
Kieran, when you were gone, he was the secretary, and I teased him, I go, are we being charged by word here?
Yeah. All right, tonight in our check summary, we've got claims totaling $12,447.41. Anybody have any questions on any of those claims in there tonight?
Nope.
No.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the claims as listed.
thank you, Al. Second. Thank you, Andrew. Got a motion and a second to approve the claims in the amount of $12,447.41. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. And then if somebody wants to make the motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
Thank you, Al. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. All right, motion is second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you,
New-
everybody. Have a great evening.